I do not own the copyright. Good morning, Grand Rising. Buenos dias, aloha, bonjour, buongiorno. Yep. Wagwan. Alexa off. That was the song of the day. Use Your Heart by SWV. Use Your Heart.
That was a great choice.
Yes, yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
seeing SWV's Use Your Heart listed as today's official song of the day, but it's definitely
she's
a
gonna
classic
tell me
hit.
something.
Are you looking to find out?
No.
What the actual song
Alexa
of the day is?
off. Because y'all know we fight every day. She got a show out for y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing today? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday. Yes, so the song of the day again is Use Your Heart by SWV. That definitely is a good thing. A good song. But like I was saying, you can't use that for everything. I messed up, y'all. My glasses are across the room. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. And she's back. Okay, yeah. So, morning, Revis. So you can't use your heart with everything. I'm just being honest, right? Our heart cannot make decisions for everything. There's a lot of stuff that we included in, but, right? Thank you. Yay. A lot of the times, your feelings, right, is what causes that heart, right? But when you're working, you shouldn't have feelings while you work. We had these discussions, and I tell y'all this all of the time. A lot of the times when you go to work, one of the first things they do is say, when you by the time you touch that doorknob or you do whatever you're doing to walk in the joint, anything that's going on outside of that door shouldn't make no difference to what's going on at your place of employment. A lot of jobs do care, but it's up to you to let. Two, one thing that kills me is people always say about stop talking to your boss and don't be telling your boss everything or whatever the case is. And I understand that. I've never been one of those type of people. But my thing is, why lie? Because sooner or later, if the lie come out or you got to tell the truth about it some other time, you don't even know what direction that you're going in because you lied. I'm not saying that you're going to sit down tea and crumpets with your supervisor. Morning, Donnie. Good morning, y'all. Morning. I'm not saying that you're going to sit down tea and crumpets with your supervisor. Definitely not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, why can't you give them a little look, right? I'm not telling you to let them all the way into the vestibule, y'all. All I'm saying is open the door. Morning, X. That's all I'm saying is opening the door. Again, at least what Craig did was he heard the knocking, boom, 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 right? He opened the door. He at least heard what they had to say and then slammed the door in their face. So that's all I'm saying. You giving them a little piece of what's going on with you. I'm not telling you that you got to tell them everything, but you giving them a little piece, right? And you would hope that your supervisor or that the company that you work for has empathy or sympathy. So I'm not saying that it's a good thing or a bad thing, but your heart should not. That's why I said the song of the day was Use Your Heart by SWV. But the topic of the day kind of leads into something like that, but it's not look, again, when it comes to certain things, you can't always lead with your heart, right? You have to lead with your head. And then sometimes people say lead with your gut. If your gut is telling you something, you go ahead with what your gut is telling you. Because sometimes, and I understand that too, right? You'll sit there and you'll think one thing or you'll have it together. And your gut will say, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't do this right now. And you'll force yourself or you rush yourself to do it. And then that happens and you leave yourself in a bad place. Separation. I have no idea what that means, but you have a great... Oh, reparations. Okay, okay. He said, I have no idea. Okay, reparations. Okay. Yeah, so when it comes to certain things, like I say, I don't want you guys to lead with your he said I should have took bets yesterday. My bonus question was the color. Yes, it was, and that was the day before. That was the day before, and it was funny because when you weren't here yesterday, you had to be here yesterday. No, well, whatever. Yeah, and then you didn't. I was like, okay, look, okay, yeah, right. I said, let me just go ahead. This is gonna be, well, I'm not gonna say the last hoorah summer with this right here, because who's to say? Look, who's to say? You know, it's the color for me. But so what is considered healthy healing? Jumping in again, full speed, pacing yourself and taking your time, or different situations, of course, are approached differently. Now, my thing is, when it comes to healing, and this is not just for, like, again, I told y'all before, the relationship thing, with me, I don't bother. When you're not in a relationship, you don't give relationship advice. I'm just being honest. Right? I don't. I'm just saying that. I'm just not. Yeah. So, my whole thing is, this comes from anything, right? First of all, let me let you know, if you are in a relationship with your employer, right? Because you the employee, it's your relationship, and they let you go, you don't have time. Well, some people do. Some people will say, let me take this minute, because I already got a couple of dollars that I got saved in the bank, and I'm going to just take this time so I can reflect on what it is that I really want to do. Some people decide, let me go to school. Some people decide, let me start my own business. Some people decide, let me do this social media thing, right? So it all depends, right, on what the person feels like they want to do, right? But they don't have time to wait. Some people don't have time to wait. Some people have to go straight from, I got fired on Friday afternoon, I'm looking for a job, so Monday morning I could go ahead and find me make sure that I'm getting a paycheck and not skipping a beat. So with a lot of things, we have to make sure that we are jumping in, right? And when it comes to healthy healing, right, because that's basically what it's about. Healthy healing is also with your mind, your body, of course your heart. So I know people, right, and this is crazy because the human body is amazing. I'm not going to say that it's not. Absolutely amazing. I know people that have been in accidents and tore themselves up, and like they've been told stuff like, oh, you'll never walk again. You would never believe it. They might even walk with a little limp, but you'll never believe that. And the limp don't even look like it's that. You know what I mean? It might look like a little bop, but you would never believe it. Right? Women have babies, children, more than one, multiples, and get right up right after that and be walking up and down the hallway, taking care of kids. But is it healthy healing? Jumping back in. I follow this lady who's I'm gonna go with a fitness influencer. She was thinner in the beginning, and she's pregnant now. But when I tell you, just the drive, the endurance of this girl is amazing. When most of us would be like, okay, I'm gonna wait till after I had this baby and then I'm gonna start all over. No, she never stopped. Never stopped. So it's not even a case where she got to jump right back in, where it's going to be like a healthy, oh, I just had a baby, healthy recovery, and then go. But nah, I even believe that probably right after she has the baby, that she probably would go back to working out. You know, maybe not as much because your sleep patterns and everything is a little bit off. But I think that she'll go right back. Not it lickety split. I don't think it's going to take her too long to do what she needs to do as far as that. When it comes to relationships, the same thing. It's almost like, do you give yourself that moment, right? Do you say to yourself, okay, let me wait, let me, or do you just jump right back in? A lot of people would say to jump right back in, because what sense does that make for you to, you know what I mean? Why? Why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? Then some people say, oh no, you gotta, heal, you gotta get to know yourself, you gotta relearn yourself and do this and do that. That's true too. So there is a way that you can, again, the dating pool, I think years ago, last year, the year before, 2 years, 3 years maybe, I had put up a post, me and my bestie were putting up posts of the dating pools, and they looked like the pool from Friday. Yeah. It's crazy. But again, just because, and like I say, that doesn't mean that if you had something that happened to you with one person that if it wasn't that serious, is what I'm saying, it's no problem with you jumping back in. A lot of these people meet people on these dating sites and they get serious and then don't realize that that's how that other person might do. Toxic Avenger waste site. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Like Pumpkinhead. Like Pumpkinhead. Like crazy. But again, like I say, there are certain people, okay? Okay? She says, yes. It's almost like you want to, this too also even goes into if you started a business and that business flopped, right? Why would you stop? What I'm saying is maybe your approach to that might not be right. Maybe your inventory or your product is good. It's just that you're not doing the right thing when it comes to advertising. Some people too, you do better with like online than brick and mortar. I was looking at something recently, and this lady had a dream of doing that. So she went from like a Wall Street job to like selling online, and then from selling online she went to brick and mortar. And I think that that's dope, but again, let's just say that didn't work for her. Should she have said, okay, let me not do this at all, let me try something else? Again, I'm one of those types, I tell you all the time, don't give up on your dreams. Unless it's something that you know that's impossible. To dream the impossible dream. Yeah, don't. If y'all know that it's impossible, don't do that. I told y'all before, there's a lot of things that people don't want to see and do. So, yeah. Got to think of it that way too. Morning, y'all. Morning, morning. So, when it comes to, like I say, healing, right? If you go to, so I have two sides here. So one side, the lady was saying that, I think she said she broke her leg, right? And she had crutches and she had the cast on. The parent at that point was like, oh, you don't need to be dependent on that. You'll be fine. And took the crutches from the child, and the child had to walk around on this broken leg, really, right? And so it's not going to heal right? It's not a healthy healing when you doing things that are not conducive, right? That didn't help, and I'm sure nobody said put your leg up, or you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying. So you really didn't get a chance. You had stairs that you walking up and down. You're walking around with this cast on. So what is the chance that you have a healthy healing? So instead of having that 6 weeks cast, your cast is on for 2 months. 2.5 months. That's crazy. And then when you jump back into things, now you still have to take your time because you haven't been used to using that limb. It's not that easy. Take your time. That's with everything. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't jump in. I'm just saying even when you jump in, take your time. Certain things that you do, it takes a little bit more time for you to understand a lot of things that are going on with your job, right? So again, you get fired on Friday, you find another job on Monday. You can't be frustrated, upset, mad because you don't know how to do this job. You just got there. You have to take your time. You just jumped into this job, but you still got to take your time. You're not a rocket scientist, and if you was, you wouldn't be at this other job. I'm just saying. So, don't beat yourself. When you don't learn something and you can't get into it or whatever, you can't beat yourself. That's what, again, any aspect that I'm speaking of. That's life, living, love, anything. It depends on the circumstance. After I had Mikey, my pelvic bone separated, and I was told I had to heal. It had to heal on its own, and I would not walk for 6 months to a year. Oof. My walker and wheelchair didn't fit through the bathroom door. I taught myself to walk. See? Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, you didn't, how can I say this? Right after you had him and you were in that incapacitated state. Yeah. Right after you had him and you were in that incapacitated state, it wasn't the case that you got right back up right then and was like, okay, let me do this. Once they told you that you couldn't do it, you tried it their way for a while, and then you went into healing yourself in a different way, if you get what I'm saying. So you did it, but you didn't jump right into it. You thought that they were giving you a better way. Or after a toxic relationship, I took my time to date again for 3 years. Child, it's long. Let me see. I'll say 10 for me. Yeah. It takes a long time. Like, you can't trust people. You really can't. And you could be cool with people, but that don't mean that, it's like that. I don't even know how to describe it. It is what it is. It is what it is. But even with that, I mean, like I said, if it's something that didn't last a long time, then sometimes people just say that you jump right back in. Because if it didn't last long, like I said, like them people that be on them dating sites, if it didn't last long, and again, you already know that that's probably how the person is getting people anyway. Again, if it did not last long, you could go ahead and go to the next one. I'm not saying to be a sloth. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you didn't do that bad. What just happened here? Oh, okay. Never mind, y'all. Never mind, y'all. So, when it comes to that, I want you to also think too that I was talking to this dude about it was a while ago, some years ago, and he was saying about when him and his wife had first, and again, this wasn't somebody I was talking to in that manner. It was just we were having a conversation, and he was saying that when him and his wife had broken up, he said he was big. He was bigger, right? He said my wife came home from work every day. She used to cook for me every day. Blah 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 blah. Okay, he said, but then after him and the wife broke up, he started losing weight because he realized he didn't have nobody cooking for him every day. He just wasn't into it. He said, but he also noticed that he always had somebody else there. He said, and the person was just there to be there, not because I cared. It was just because I didn't want to be by myself at that point. I said, wow. He was like, yeah. And the person, they were all in. And after a while, I had to let her know, look, that's not what this was. I said, wow. He said, but I knew that jumping into something right after would have just soothed me for the moment. I will say, though, that he lost a lot of weight, though. The dude was mad. He got mad small. He said he started cooking for himself, and he started cooking a little bit more healthy, I guess. Sometimes people eat their misery away. You could be in a relationship and just be the most miserable, and what you find comfort in would be food. A lot of people do that. Some people find alcohol. Some people find gardening. Some people like to stay outside. I'm outside. Yeah. It's not healthy, and it definitely isn't healing, but some people think that, that's the best way to get over something. He said the best way to get over somebody is to have somebody else under you. That's what he said. And I was so shocked when he said that. And mind you, he was a supervisor. He was a supervisor. He was being totally honest. Yeah, absolutely. No. I did. I absolutely did. And when he said, and like I said, he was a supervisor, and it kind of took me aback for a second, because you say to yourself, like, dang. And he was like, I'm trying to help you out. He was like, it's not something that, most men are going to say, like, and I was like, wow. And he was like, and in y'all case, if you do it, you ain't going to look the same. You're not going to look the same. Sips coffee. Oh, no, sips, I'm drinking mint tea today. I went out last night and my stomach was like, oh, drinking, huh? I've been okay. He gave you the overall view of life. Yeah, I mean, from their perspective. Yeah, from the dangling participle perspective. Yeah. And like I said in the beginning, it like I say, I guess too, when a lot of times when people say things to me, it kind of take me aback or shock me, but I shouldn't be shocked, because that's the way of the world, right? That's actually the way of the world. That's everybody's not you, and that's my whole issue. Everybody is not. You could be I can't say cleanest, but you could be the nicest person in the world. Everybody's not nice. You could be the cleanest person in the world. Everybody not clean. You could be the most honest. Everybody's not honest. And it kind of surprises me when you could be around a person for a long time, or you could live with a person. Excuse me, you could be around a person and have no clue who those people are. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, you're clueless. And they'll give you little bits and pieces. And you might even see the full picture. But if they only giving it to you in bits and pieces, like a puzzle, how do you get the full picture unless it's already together? And that's the problem that I have. Don't have me thinking that everything is all together and it's in bits and pieces. That is the worst feeling ever. That is the worst feeling ever. Again, the young lady said, I was walking around in a cast and I couldn't use my crutches. Walk up and down stairs, walk around the house. I'm still doing housework and stuff like nothing is wrong with me. And I broke, like, literally, I think she said broke her leg in 3 or 4 places, right? Meanwhile, she had a brother who sprained her ankle, and the brother didn't have to do anything. She's damaged not only for the fact that, like, her healthy healing will never begin because you taking care of everybody else on a broken leg, and then to think that my leg was broken and you made me do whatever, and his leg was just sprained. His ankle was sprained. And you tell him, you sit down. Let her do it. I will say I have seen a lot of families that honestly, and again, don't come for me because a lot of it is true. If you have brothers, if you have uncles, but make sure that there's always a female sibling there somewhere, right? So again, if you have brothers as a female, or if you have uncles as a female, and them siblings, like your mama is their sister or whatever, look at the difference between how the mother treat the sons and the mother treat the daughter. I'm just saying. Yeah. You're going to teach the daughter stuff to make sure that she's going to be prepared and ready. But also going to teach that daughter to take care of that son. You're going to teach the daughter to take care of that son. So once again, I got a cast on my leg because my leg is broken. You still got me running around here taking care of these kids. Meanwhile, he had a sprained ankle, and he didn't have to do anything. And you let him keep the cast on longer than, or the thing on a little longer than anybody, would have sprained. That's a triggering trauma of a daughter. It is. She may be the eldest. She's raised them as sons. Wait. She is raised and them sons are celebrated. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. That's in a lot of cases. It will seem like, again, so I saw a situation where, and when I saw it, it wowed me out because I was like, well, damn, I was a little older, but I'm trying to think if my mom didn't make me cater to my brother. Like we didn't do that. Like she did that. That was her job. But she always let you see that, this is my son. But I watched a brother and sister, right? The brother was outside playing all day, playing. Just you outside, you running around, you doing whatever you feel like doing. Now the brother's tired. I want to go inside, take a nap. The brother goes inside of the house to lay down, takes all the clothes off, walks in the door, stripping from the door, takes all the clothes off, goes and lays down on the bed. When he goes to lay on the bed, he turns around and says to the sister, I'm hungry and you need to go to I want you to go to the store for me. And the sister said, you just walked in the door. Sister sitting there doing something. You just walked in the door. The brother goes, okay, but I still want you to go to the store. Mind you, I will say that the sister was the elder sibling. But that's not the point. Okay? Definitely not the point. Now, the grandmother is the one watching these children. The girl says to the grandmother, Grandma, I'm here doing something. He just came from outside. He just came from outside, took off everything and came from outside, and now he's laying down. And now he's asking me to stop doing what I'm doing to go to the store for him. Why did the grandmother wild the little girl out? Yes, he asked you to go to the store. Stop what you're doing and go to the store. Hottie eyes. I was in shock. Because why does she have to stop doing what she's doing to go to the store for this son, and the son was just outside? Like, you were like literally just outside. Like, you just came in and closed the door just outside. Why does she have to go to the store for you? And the grandmother actually like made the kid feel bad and made the kid feel bad and made the kid go to the store. Like, I don't care what you're doing. Turn it off. Stop. Right now. And go to the store. The kid was like, but, you want me to... and then went into what all she would do. Because the kid didn't want to go to the... Like, that's what we doing now? Right. So that's why I say there is a huge difference, right? And that, like you say, being a trigger, some people can't heal from that. There is no healthy healing from that. There isn't. I just say when you're in relationships like that, like I say, when you feel that a person is being treated differently than you're jumping back into it, right? But with whatever the situation is, you're jumping into it, but you're jumping in with caution. Once again, you're taking your time so you can get to know what the situation is, all in all. You don't want to just go ahead and be like, all right, well, listen, I understand that's just my mama, or that's my this and my that. And you try to make excuses for people. Stop making excuses for people, too. They know exactly what they're doing to you. They know what they're doing to you. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So when it comes to certain things, I don't ever want y'all to be like, okay, if this doesn't work, I'm never going to try it again. If this doesn't work, I'm going to jump into it and I'm just going to give it my all. No, let's say you tried it the first time and you jumped into it and gave it your all. The second time, take your time. Because you see that the way that you did it the first time wasn't right. And like I tell y'all all the time, make sure that you making your plan. Like you do things strategically. That's how siblings have animosity towards each other. Never force a sibling to raise their siblings. Amen to that. One thing I will say, my kids are 10 years apart. I didn't do that. One of the things I did not do was that. Didn't. Because I always felt, I've always watched, like I was the youngest sibling. But my parents didn't do the, you gonna be with Street Boy. Like, yeah, I wasn't with Street Boy. I have friends, though, that their younger siblings would have to be around them all the time. And every place they went, that the younger sibling had to go. And they despised those younger siblings. Yeah. And I never wanted that to be. That's why I always used to tell my older sibling, you're not his father. That's not your job. Yeah. It's not your job to chastise or anything. That's not your job. I always felt that older siblings, I mean, of course you play your part as an older sibling, which means, because again, everybody goes into that, we got the same parents, but it's my mama and your mama, right? It's always my mama and your mama, although we got the same mama. So what we not going to do, anytime that you talking to your mama like that, you won't be talking to my mama like that. You see how that works? Yeah, we got the same mama. You could talk to you, but you're not gonna talk to my mama like that. That means you won't be talking to her, that figure, like that at all. Or we could take it to the house, or Dubai, or the streets, whatever you want to do. The alley, it didn't make a difference. That's how some people feel when it comes to your mother, with their mothers. That's why I was telling you even the other day with this foolishness going on with these people. How you got a shirt with this good man's mama on it. Adios. Again, if I got beef with you, my beef is with you, not your wife, not your churn, not your and. But I will say again, he's a genius, because every time he starts a beef and keeps it lingering for a while, he'll come right back out with some news like, oh, I just bought a whole this, or I'm getting ready to do that, or there's always a rhythm or a method to his madness. Everybody else just do it to do it. I'm just being honest. Think about that. 50 is a genius. He definitely is. He's a smart businessman. I mean, again, I don't know, like, how come he picks that strategy, but when you think about it, I told y'all before, a person will have all of the proof in front of them. They can read exactly what something says and go on this internet, and the internet will tell them a lie, and they'll believe that lie before they believe the proof that's sitting in front of them. They'll believe they believe this here is a lie, and that right there is the truth, and that could be just as negative and false, and we'll believe the false and the negative before we'll believe a regular person or the proof. They say that all of the time. Yeah. I think that's kind of wild, but it is what it is. Okay, so I want to go into this, what you call them, to the contest of the week. The contest of the week is kind of easy but kind of hard. So y'all gonna have to do some homework. Again, this week is gonna be some homework. So I'll wait for y'all to get your pens. Get your pens. Get your pens. And of course, I'm gonna repeat it. And if you go back and rewind, you'll see. So, this week is about famous phrases. So they either come from TV shows or movies. You know how I'm always lying? Yeah. So where did these lines come from? Now, some of them might be easy and some of them might be hard. All I'm going to do... Ooh, good morning, Amanda. I'm going to be so upset if you can't write today. I don't know why. It showed me that you're here, but it won't let me do anything. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to touch it. Look, I don't want to touch it because I don't want to touch it. And if not, you just going to have to write me on Messenger. Look. And I'm going to look at my settings again and see if there's something. Because I don't think I did anything. You was fine for a long time. So this week's questions. So like I said, these are phrases, right? So these are lines from movies or TV shows. Yeah. So it is 9 lines. 9 lines. 9 lines, and then there's a bonus question. So the first line, so again, it's 9 lines, and then there's a bonus question. So I want y'all to be on point. The first one is A. Number 2, love you long time. Number 3, you ain't no cop, J. Reed. Number 4, I'm gonna need to borrow your microwave right quick. Number 5, bow, got your ass. Number 6, you show is ugly. Number 7, we gotta get the guy some. Number 8, I ain't no killer, but my grandson though. Number 9, okay. Haha. Number 9, Mr. Stripper Man. And number 10, what was the episode name? And who was the star of the show? for the line. Gina, how you doing? Yeah. What was the line for that? Morning, baby. Morning, morning. Morning, my love. Yeah. Yeah. So, again, it's 9 lines. The 10th one, I want y'all to tell me the episode and the star. Hopefully y'all got that. Yeah. So I'm going to go back. Number 1, I want the show. Just tell me the show it came from. Yep. The only one that I want you to give me 2 answers for is the bonus question, and that bonus question is who was the person and what was the episode. So again, going back, this week's question, this week's trivia is movie lines, TV lines. So I want y'all to get your pen and your paper. You tell me where they came from. Where did they come from? And it's going to be 9 of those. And number 10, I want you to tell me what was the episode and who's the person. Who was the starer? So number 1 again is A. Number 2, love you long time. Number 3, you ain't no cop, J. Reed. Oh, I'm missing one, y'all. Thank you. I am missing one, y'all. But I'm just gonna give this as an example so y'all could kind of get it, because I think that everybody will get this one. And it's sitting right here, but I know that this is an obvious one. So I'll give that as an example at the end to tell y'all how I want you to do it. Okay. So you ain't no cop, J. Reed. The next one, I need to borrow your microwave right quick. Due by when? Saturday. Saturday I announced the winners. Saturday. So y'all got a week to do your research. Number 5, bow, got your ass. Number 6, you sure is ugly. Number 7, we got to give the guy some. Number 8, I ain't no killer, but my grandson. Number 9, Mr. Stripper Man. And then the bonus question, I want y'all to tell me who, you could give me either the person that's singing in the episode, or you could give me the person that they're singing to in the episode. Right? So, the bonus question, Gina, how you doing? Yeah. I don't want to do too much. People in here sleeping and I be in here taking it to church and they be ready to, are you serious? Hey, you know we got off work late. Yeah. So that's this week. So I'm going to go here. So why I was saying I was going to give this as an example was because I even know men that use this sometimes. So I don't want it to be, well, a lot of these are very obvious too, right? So one line is, that's a good man, Savannah. Everybody know where that came from. Look, everybody know where that's a good man, Savannah came from. Even though we already know. Yeah. That voice, though, It was him in that voice, him and that Morgan Freeman. Yeah, they definitely, and James Earl. That the work that them guys got from them voices, man. Look. So again, that's this week's questions, and like I said, y'all just make sure that you get those answers to me. Like if you got self, you could text it. If you have instant message DM, you could DM me. Thank you for the follow. If you have Messenger, you can DM me. Yeah. So again, where did these lines come from? Yeah. You could be fancy if you want to. Like I say, I just want to know the movie or the TV show. If you know who said the line, you could say that too, because I'm sure I know who said the line since I was. Yeah, it's not Demi Moore and Courtney Cox. I'm good. Yeah, it's not Lord of the Rings and what the boy is, Harry Potter. I'm good. Yeah, and them other two that I got confused last week. I used to get Jay Parker, what her name is, the girl that was like, Craig, you know I love your mama. I used to get her and Applehead confused. Tisha Campbell. For a long time, I used to get them confused. Because, well, and they even said that they thought that they looked alike, and a lot of people confused them too. So, look, Tracy Morgan and Buster, the boy got them confused, although Buster didn't find that to be a joke. But when the people started comparing it, they was like, I'm gonna leave him alone, because he's, yeah, a lot of these, yeah, they get so sensitive. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, after a while, he probably laughed, though. I'm serious. Like, after a while, you might have laughed at that when you got home in the privacy of your own home. Like, let me look at what this damn Tracy looked like. And looked at that, like, what's the name? So, I'm going to tell y'all something. So, there's two people. So, somebody told me that I look like Miss Netta. And so, I said to myself, I said, I heard that name before, but I just couldn't get with. When I saw the Miss Netta, I said, okay, I see where you're going with that. Then the other day, somebody said I look like Miss B Nasty or somebody like that. So already the name right there, because y'all already know how Sister Cuss-A-Lot already was, what? Look, Sister Cuss-A-Lot already was like, oh, wow. Yeah, child, they say all kinds of stuff on here. Yes. Oh, my God, who said that? Please. Yeah. Listen. I even have a picture, and I'm going to put it up one day. So I have a picture when I was working in the supermarket. I had these lock things. This lady had won the lotto, and she was, you know, they take your picture and put it up there. So I'm standing behind the counter. I got the picture there, and the picture's, you know, flashing on the front on the screen. And the customer goes, oh, my God, you won the lotto? What? He said, yeah, right there, the good. So I saw where he was going with the hair, where he was going with that. When I tell you her face and my face was two different faces, where, sir, sir. I said, no, that's not me. Are you sure? I'm going to sip my tea on that. Because, sir, I done already told you. I'm not going to tell you again. I won't. But, yeah, to each his own. If you think I look like Miss Netta, that's fine. My son, so again, I already told y'all, I am the type of person that I can make fun of me first before anybody else do, right? So the first thing I said when I was like, I said, ooh, Eminem, right? I gave that because, of course, you know, the Oompa Loompa, I gave Oompa Loompa vibes before. So I was like, okay. Then I said, okay, Eminem. I gave that vibe, right? So my son goes, no, you actually look like, so what I want y'all to look up for me, and he was like, because I told you that your hair looked nice and you ain't want to take the compliment. So now I'm going to go in because I know how you be doing. So y'all already know me. When my son said this, and when I tell you laughed for like a good half hour, yo, I love my kids, but absolutely crazy. So I want y'all to look up. So what this was the description, and I love the way that my kid describes stuff because he's just like his mama. We give like the most colorful descriptions. You know who you remind me, Jahir, is? Do you remember the guy that was the babysitter? And he used to watch these two kids for this other guy and this lady that was married. Like, what? And then he was like, and he was fat. So now I'm like, okay, so let me think. The only person I could think of at that point was Faison Love. I said, Faison Love. He said, yes. So, okay. He said, he played Big Perm. I said, yes. He said, okay, the guy that he was working for. So I said, then I'm thinking about it. And I couldn't get the guys. I knew Robert Townsend as far as in my head. I just couldn't get the words out. Good morning, morning, Hosh, morning, Hosh. Good morning, winner. So I said, okay. And so I said, Robert Townsend. He said, yes. He said, him. I said, okay, what about him? He said, he got a movie. He had a movie back in the days that he was a superhero. Derek, you getting ready to die. If you thought you was in stitches a few seconds ago, I want y'all to do this research while you're on here with me. If you got an option. If not, I want you to send me something later. Go back through this. Send me something later. So he goes, yeah, go. I want you to look at this. He's like, because you look like when the Robert Harris played a superhero. And he said, and you look like his little clan or the people that he was fighting. The people that was fighting against him. The name of the movie is called Meteor Man. I want y'all to look at Meteor Man. And the funny thing is I have exactly the picture of Robert Townsend surrounded by all of these little things. I want y'all to go look at that. Yo, I laughed when I tell you for about a good Derek. When I tell you I hollered. I said, this boy is a fool. But again, I'm going to make fun of me. I don't mind my kids making fun of me. I'm going to make fun of me before anybody else do. I'm going to make sure that my skin is tough. If you grew up in my house, honey, if your skin wasn't thick at my house, you might as well have moved. Because they didn't know tea. They didn't care. Oh, you sensitive? That's your business. Yeah. Then don't sit around us. That's how they used to be. Oh, you getting ready to cry? Go in your room. Because nobody don't have time for that. You be by yourself a whole lot. Yeah. The world is not going to be so kind. Right? You can't always think that. That's why I tell y'all all the time. You can't. A person don't know you. Why are you worrying about what they say? That's another reason why with this social media, a lot of people that say, oh, I get depressed or I get upset about what people say and this, that, and the other thing. I am sensitive when it comes to a lot of stuff. And then with the Miss Netta comment, yeah, I'm not even going to say it upset me or bother me. It was like, okay, oh, I see where you're going with that. Why am I mad? Miss Netta is, a lot of people know who she is. Apparently, he do too. So I'm not mad. I wish I could be up here with the numbers that she getting, the views that she getting. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, but be mad. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm never gonna be mad. Whole time I lived for a short blonde. It's giving black Bridget Nielsen in the 80s, a bombshell. Oh, I love it. Thank you, baby. Thank you. And the funny thing is, like I said, I came on here the other day. So I went Friday. I was Thursday. I was in the store getting something to eat. And this lady was looking at my hair. And she kept saying, she said, Miss, she said, you are beautiful. When she went through it. She said, but you would look nice if you blonded. And I was like, nah. I said, yeah, that summer that I was blonde was a lot going on. And that it was just too much. And she was like, no, I'm telling you, I think that would look so nice on you. You should do that. And I was like, nah. I said, and then my kids, they be wilding me out. I give them credit for a lot. I don't have no husband or no boyfriend that could be wilding me out. So I give my I give my kids credit for a lot of stuff. Because they do try to keep me in line. Like, why you doing that? What's wrong with you? That kind of thing. Okay. So yeah, that's why when the youngest one was like, oh, that looks so nice. Like I told you, you could be a chimpanzee and you're beautiful. You are beautiful, Mom. Told you I was going out on a date one time, took my braids out, thought I was going someplace. I get in the car and the dude was like, you. He almost sounded like that boxer from Harlem Nights. More than Bernadette, he sounded like that boxer from Harlem Nights. You wasn't really planning on going outside, right? Like you didn't want to go no place, and I'm sitting there like, well, what the hell? He was like, he said, what's wrong with your hair? I said, oh, I just took my braids out, and my son said, I said, I just took my braids out. My son said my hair looked nice. He said, your son lied. Now, mind you, this man don't have no speech impediment. There's nothing wrong with him. He doesn't stutter. I guess he just was not trying to be so harsh into letting me know that wasn't the style and that we wasn't going out with you looking like that. And then, yeah, so like I said, I got my kids are two different extremes. One, you could be beautiful in a paper bag or a burlap sack. The other one, he'll let you know that you in a paper bag or a burlap sack. You be like, oh my God, we look crazy. Then he'll turn around and let you know, no, we don't look crazy. You, more than happy, long time, you look crazy. Yeah, he'll let you know that off jump rip. Yeah, my kids are off the hook. But you gotta take the good with the bad. Yeah. And then, so that was on Friday. And then Saturday, that was on Thursday. Girl, my days, your days. Girl, okay. That was on Thursday. Friday, I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead. Now, mind you, Thursday, they made a bet on, Thursday on up top, Meta, it was like, are you going to do it? You should do it. I think you should do it. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not. That was on Thursday. And then, like I said, Friday morning, I got up like, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead. Because why not? Look, I'm going to just go ahead because why not? Yeah. And then I'm in the Sunshine State, so I'm going to do that. And the funny thing is it takes me back to, I don't know if anybody, God bless him though, one of my friends at work, his name was Pablo Ayala. And he was a short dude. He was short and just round. And he loved him some sun in. And Pablo would spray that sun in his hair and just go sit in the park. Like sit across the street from the job. And just, yeah. So anytime summertime or anytime I see people with blonde hair or blonde streaks or that kind of thing, it reminds me of Pablo. Because he appreciated that. Just like the natural. And sun in was peroxide. Peroxide. And that's all you have to do, spray peroxide in your hair and sit outside. I'm not going to keep telling y'all to do that, though, because that might not be too healthy. But, yeah, peroxide used to turn the hair colors. Colors. Yeah. And my cousin that passed away, too, Derek, I said to myself, she's always asked me back in the days, could she bald me and blonde me? And I used to tell her no. So I'm not doing that. She said, why? I said, I just can't. I didn't have the nerve. And she kept saying, no, I want you to do that. And this was back in the 80s, 90s. And I kept saying, nah, I'm good. She passed away in December. And I said I would never have anybody do that. Like, I don't have anybody to do it. But since my hair was already short, I just went to the lady. There's a lady here that I kind of trust her. I'm the bleach queen. I know what to do. It's just that sometimes you need somebody else to go ahead and set it off. And that's what she did. And so I said, okay. But this is like basically owed to my cousin because I would never. Like, yeah. But I say summer 26. It was that 96? Train, was that 96? '95, '96. Oh well. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to blow this popsicle stand. I'm just praying that I don't have to stay at work all day. How dare I, right? Everybody pray for a job. I'm just praying I don't have to stay all day. And if it do, that it's kind of mild, because sometimes people be wilding. Beautiful tribute. Shout out to your cousin and the stylist. Both knew what they would talk. Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you. And again, with me, it takes me a little while to decide that that's what I'm going to do. But then once I make up my mind and I talk about it more than one time, it's already done. So I was like, okay, it's just when. It was just when. And then my thing is, since I already had it, might as well just go ahead and do it. Might as well just go ahead and do it, because if you don't, talk yourself out of stuff. And I told you I'm infamous for that too. So my kid was like, nope, I'm glad you didn't, and it's okay. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to tell you, I went out last night to a comedy show. The comedy show was okay. I think that because these comedians, thank you, Bernie, thank you. I think because these comedians are, like, they had a lot of jokes that only up north is going to get. I'm sorry to say it that way. And then the hecklers. Like, I told my son, I had my son dying. I said, see, people who pay money, like pay money for their tickets, they going to be up in the front, and they not going to have nobody talking around them because they paid their good money. It's us that decide we're going to be cheapskates or go at the last minute that you pay bottom dollar, and then you got all of these people around you that want to talk. How you talking about other stuff during the show? How you on your phone during the show? How you yelling at the people during the show? But like I said, a lot of the jokes that they were telling, the people there didn't get because they're not Northerners. A lot of the jokes that these people were telling to me were Northerner jokes. And then, of course, you know, you get the people around that's, well, what's so funny? What's the joke? And even my son was like, yeah, a lot of this stuff is going over their head. How's that? And one of them was the boy, Avion. I can't remember his name. He's the one from Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. At the very end, he was dating Betty. Bananas are crazy or whatever he said, that guy. Him. Yeah. There's a Tony Tone. Somebody Rodriguez. Adia. What's his name? One of the Tory brothers was there. But he was just there with them. And he was promoting. He'll be here in June. So like I said, it was the drinks was good. If I don't say nothing else about that place that I be going to the shows, the drinks. Look at me. The drinks. So to me, it's okay that you spend $1 million on one of the drinks because you getting $1 million worth. I'm just being honest. The show, like I said, the show was okay. I ain't gonna hold you like it wasn't. The show was okay. But like I advised, I mean, I guess I got the best of both worlds because I was born and raised up north. I stayed in the middle for a while, and then I came down. And when I say I stayed in the middle, is I had family in Maryland. I moved to Maryland for a little while. A lot of my summers and youth was spent in South Carolina, and then I moved down here to Florida. Yes, him, Crockett. Him, Avion Crockett. Yes. Tony Tone, Avion Crockett, Adia Rodriguez, and Marvin Dixon. And then the guy, he just came out to, you know, like I said, support his friends and make sure that he promoted his show on the 27th. But like I said, them Tory brothers, though, I would take them anywhere. Because I think that they would be hilarious. I say there's a few brother sets that to me are like them Tories, the Murphy brothers, You get them, yeah. Just like, and like I say, their chemistry, like, yeah. Even the Waynes, but the older ones. The older ones. Sorry for the younger ones, but the older ones. Yeah. There's a lot of movie people that you would think that were brothers because they come so close from these things, but they not really. And then some of them I'll be getting confused anyway and be like, ooh, that's the same person. And they don't be. Look, and they don't be. But y'all, you're going to have to rewind again. Come back again for come tomorrow and join us tomorrow. Morning banter during the week is 7:15 to 8:15. And then we'll go over these questions. If not, you could definitely rewind on the top. You can go back through. I don't know if there's a way that you can see the videos on the bottom. I do believe that there is. But you'll be able to see the questions over. And then if you can get those questions. Okay, come on. The questions, like I said, you could definitely get your movie and your TV knowledge on with these questions. And like I said, if you get the answers, you just holler at me. You let me know. Come on. All right, this thing is not participating. It's not participating, so y'all might be off at the bottom in a minute. I think it's because my thing is slow. Okay, we're going to try that. There we go. All right, there we go. But 7:15 to 8:15 tomorrow, I'll be here. Of course, I'm going to go through all of the questions again. Tomorrow's Monday. Tomorrow's wild. I tell y'all all the time, like, some people go through extremes for things that are not necessary, and then when it turns around on them, they get upset. Don't do things that you already know are wrong and then get mad when it blows up in your face. That's how these people, you go and you do vindictive things, but then when you're the one that suffers from being that way, you get angry. Be angry at yourself and make sure that you could, again, I tell y'all all the time, serenity. You can't change the situation. You can't change what just happened, but you can change or make sure that you're dealing with it in a particular way. You can change the fact that it's never going to happen to you again. You're not going to let it happen to you again. You are in control of you. You're not in control of anybody else or anything else. But just make sure that when you're doing things, do them right. Do them legitimately. And like I said, don't put yourself in jeopardy. That's all I can say. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll definitely talk to you tomorrow. Derek, I want to write you because I was telling you something before. Yeah, I had to tell my girlfriend the same thing too. So, but I'll talk to you in a few. I'll write it to you. But I love you guys. I appreciate you joining my banter today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, and again, song of the day, "Use Your Heart" by SWV. All right. Love you guys, and talk to you tomorrow.